Hey, Mike with Vanco here, and today's video I'll be walking you through 18 essential vendor negotiation tips for prom committees, so let's get into it. Now, prom is one of the biggest events for most schools every single year, and so negotiating effectively can help you get the best value for these events and can help you create an event to remember. And so with that said, let's jump into our tips. The first tip is to research multiple vendors. This again can help you optimize the value you get. It can help you negotiate more effectively when you know what's out there, and it can help you make an informed decision as well. The second tip is to establish clear budget limits. And so this is important because it can help you understand how much you want to invest in each category throughout your budgeting plan. It can also help you negotiate more effectively because you know your limits for each category and which category can be most important. Again, you can break this out from things like the food to have, the event decorations, venue, and much more. The third tip is to prioritize your needs. And so this is essential because it can help you plan which aspects of your prom are most essential. Again, is it the venue? Is it the decorations? Is it the music? Whatever the case might be, know your priorities because that's what you can focus on and make sure that you have great deals on those must-have items to make the most out of your prom. The fourth tip is to request detailed quotes. Again, this is essential because when you have these detailed quotes, you can know exactly what you're paying for, and there aren't any hidden surprises or bills or fees that might come out of nowhere, leaving you scrambling to find extra money or potentially having to cancel a service or go with a different vendor. The fifth tip is to negotiate package deals. And so package deals are a great way to extend the value of your services with a vendor. A lot of times they might bundle different services together, and they often can do this at a lower price. This gets you the option to expand your budget further, to make your event even better on a limited budget. So make sure you negotiate package deals if you can. The sixth tip is to ask for discounts. Now, a lot of people don't do this, and it can be a great way to reduce the budget or reduce your spending with different vendors, and it's a great negotiation tip as well. It doesn't hurt to ask if they have any discounts available. Again, maybe it's for something like paying early or booking well enough in advance. There's different reasons why vendors might offer you a discount, but it doesn't hurt to ask, and so definitely include this in your steps in negotiation. The seventh tip is to discuss your payment terms. Again, this is an important thing to know. Each vendor could be different. Some vendors maybe want you to put a significant deposit up front. Others might want you to pay in full. Others might break it out by payments throughout the year. It can vary from vendor to vendor. And again, similar to the last tip, some might even offer you a discount depending on how you pay. So again, discuss these payment terms and know them in advance so you can plan accordingly. The eighth tip is to review cancellation policies. Now this is important as well. Hopefully you don't need to cancel and your event goes off without a hitch, but it's important to know the policies surrounding cancellation because again, you want to plan for those worst case scenarios just in case it happens, so fully be aware of what policies are in place if you do need to cancel. The ninth tip is to search out references and reviews on each vendor. Again, this is important. You want to see how that vendor has dealt with other people and other customers. Again, when you're searching through these reviews, you can see potential red flags on why you might not want to hire this person. Or again, you could also see the great work that they've done, and it could be a clear choice on who you should choose. So again, definitely seek out references and look at reviews for each vendor before you decide to hire them. The 10th tip is to clarify exclusions and inclusions for each vendor. Again, this is important to understand. Sometimes you might think that a certain service is included or something might be excluded, or maybe you're going with different package levels for each vendor. And again, this might change what's included and what's not. So again, definitely make sure you understand this up front, clarify that, and get it in writing if you can. The 11th tip is to leverage competition. And so again, you don't necessarily only want to reach out to one vendor in your planning process. As you're exploring options for your prom, use that as a leverage opportunity with vendors. If they understand that you might go with a competitor, it can be a reason for them to offer you a discount or better terms when hiring them. So leverage that competition to get the best results and to improve your negotiations. The 12th tip is to request sample work. And so this is important. You want to see what type of work these vendors will produce. Again, there's difference between what they maybe advertise on their website versus the reality of what you get on the back end. So it's important to request samples, see what they offer, and see if it aligns with what you're looking for your dream vision of your prom event. The 13th tip is to negotiate timing. And so again, the earlier you can start planning for your prom and your major events, the better. This can lead into ideal negotiation terms and better pricing overall. Again, a lot of times when you are negotiating, if you have an early start and you start planning for your prom event months in advance, often it will give you more leverage when negotiating with these vendors. Again, if they know that you're doing this last minute, they know that you're desperate, they're less likely to cut you a deal versus if you're planning it far in advance and you can choose any vendor and you have a lot of flexibility, it gives you the power starting early and taking advantage of timing. The 14th tip is to discuss backup plans. Again, this is important. You want to plan for that worst case scenario. Again, hopefully nothing like that ever happens and you don't have to deal with cancellations or issues that arise, but having those plans in place are important as you can be prepared. It gives you peace of mind and it can help you run your event more smoothly. The 15th tip is to read contracts carefully. Again, it might be slightly different than what you say in person or what's listed on their website. Make sure you carefully analyze the contracts before moving forward. Again, you don't want any surprise things to pop out last minute because you didn't thoroughly read the contract. So make sure that's an essential step of your negotiation process. The 16th tip is to be professional and respectful. Again, negotiations are important and having that professional courtesy can go a long way. Again, people want to do business with those that they like, and so you want to be professional and respectful during this negotiation process. Another thing to consider is you might work with these vendors year over year when you create that good business relationship. So again, make sure that you're respectful and professional as it can really help you in the long run to maximize results negotiating with these vendors. The 17th tip is to consider non-monetary benefits. Again, monetary benefits are important, but it's also important to consider these non-monetary benefits because it could make a big difference and add a lot more value beyond what you're paying for that service. So for example, maybe a vendor does free setup, or maybe they have really flexible payment plans making it easier to pay for their services. Whatever the case might be, these things are important to take into consideration when choosing a vendor and throughout your negotiation process. The final tip is to follow up in writing. Again, this is important. You want to have everything documented throughout this negotiation process. You don't want to get into a he said, she said situation, and having everything in writing can help you with that process. It helps you establish clear boundaries. You understand exactly what you're getting. You have it in writing to refer back to in the future if there's ever an issue. So this is definitely an important step to include throughout your negotiation process. But again, hopefully you got a lot of benefit and value out of this video, and when you use these tips, you can negotiate more effectively in your prom planning process. And so if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. And on top of that, we put together several resources to help you plan a prom effectively. We put together an in-depth prom planning event kit that's totally free, so if you'd like to access that and download that kit, we'll have links in the description below where you can do so. On top of that, one thing that we offer to our Vanco Events clients is we help you build out your next event, including events like prom. So if you're struggling to set this up, you want to implement digital ticketing, add key features like guest lists, VIP seating, and much more, we can help you set that up step by step. So if you'd like to connect with us and set up a time to chat with our team to learn more about us helping you build your next event, we'll have links in the description below where you can do that as well. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos we put out to help you with your school events, payment processing, and much more. But again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we look forward to working with you.